That's right, everybody. It's your boy JP, back again with another video, and you already see it. You already know what time it is. Check it out. That's right. The Xiaomi Mi 11. Snapdragon 888, 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of internal storage. This is the black color. Every one of them that you've been seeing so far has been the blue. This is the matte black. And I already got it here on my channel. Now, I realized it's been a while since I've made a video. It's been about 2 months, give or take, maybe a little less. I don't think it's been more than 2 months. Again, if that. But I've been unusually quiet. Usually quiet. That's because, after Techtober, it's not... it gets kind of quiet until about, springtime. Or, right before springtime, late February, early March. Sometimes a little earlier, maybe the middle of March, or February rather. Just, kind of depends. That's when we start seeing phones with the latest and greatest, all new, Qualcomm 800 series processor, the flagship, the premium. It's usually around that time where everything for the rest of the year, the tone is kind of set for at that point. When that first phone comes out with the latest processor, it's always either Samsung or Xiaomi. And Xiaomi got a huge jump. I already had this phone pre-ordered before the new year, and it just came in today. Today is actually January 11th, Monday. I wanted to make this video as soon as possible. I did just get it. Got it about 4 hours ago, and got it all set up. And this is the non-global Chinese variant, but I have noticed that it's actually a lot easier to install the Google Play services than other Xiaomi, non-global Chinese phones have been. I've noticed. Really quick, I know a lot of y'all are going to ask because y'all expect it from my channel. Justin, J Money, JP, whatever, whatever you call me. What is the bands? What's the bands look like? What's the compatibility? Happy to say, as far as AT&T goes, 5G does work. It does not have band, how do they say? It does not have band N5 listed, which is AT&T's low band 5G frequency, but it does get 5G. Yeah, and as you know, as I've said many times on my channel, that's not always the case with Xiaomi's non-Chinese phones, especially. You're going to have much better luck with their global phones getting 5G, even, especially for T-Mobile. I cannot confirm yet if this works on T-Mobile. It does not have it does have band 41 listed, which is their mid-band that they got from Sprint. But I don't know about their low band, but that doesn't mean it's not there because AT&T's isn't listed either. As I've said many times in my previous videos, it's hit or miss, especially the global phones are hit or miss too, but their Chinese phones are even more hit or miss. Prime example, I didn't bring it to my channel because I had the global variant already, but the Chinese variant had a better camera. The Redmi Note 9 Pro 5G. Keep in mind, it had a Qualcomm chipset, and you'll realize why I say that, why I emphasize that. It had the Snapdragon 750G. 5G did not work, nor did AT&T LTE work. Because remember, in areas where AT&T has low-band 5G, you are more than likely not going to get LTE with band 5 anymore because they've subjugated it purely for 5G. I don't know if that's in every area, but that's the case in my area. A lot of these Chinese Xiaomi phones do have band 5 for LTE that used to work on AT&T LTE, but when AT&T reformed that for 5G, they no longer work on LTE. All you're going to get is HSPA+. So keep that in mind. The reason why I emphasize Qualcomm is because earlier, the last time I had a Xiaomi Chinese phone that did not work with 5G or LTE, actually it may have worked on LTE. I don't quite remember because it's been that long. But it was the Redmi 10X 5G. That that didn't get 5G for sure. It did. I think it. I want to say it did get LTE on AT&T, but don't hold me to that. I'd have to go back and watch my video on it. But that phone had the MediaTek Dimensity 820. And a lot of people are quick to say, oh, that's a MediaTek issue, but it's not. Because I also had the Chinese, later on, a phone I was very impressed with. I had the Chinese, what was it? The Redmi K30 Ultra, which had the 120 Hz AMOLED screen with the pop-up camera, but replaced the Snapdragon 865 with the Dimensity 1000 Plus. And I was getting 5G on AT&T with that phone. And again, it wasn't listed. A lot of their global phones list way more bands, but they still don't ever list band 5 or N5 for 5G anyways. Remember, band 5 and N5 are two different things. But as far as the Mi 11, I expected it to have. If the flagship Redmi K30 Ultra had 5G, Chinese version had 5G for the US on AT&T with a MediaTek chipset, I really expected nothing less out of the Mi 11, to be honest. But enough of that. Another question I'm going to get, a lot of people are going to ask me, I'm sure, Justin, why not wait for the Mi 11, the inevitable Mi 11 Pro? Well, I think a better question is, why didn't they announce the Mi 11 Pro with the Mi 11 like they did last year with the Mi 10 series? And I think they did the same the year before with the Mi 9 series. Quite frankly, with the Mi 11 right here, they have literally thrown everything except the kitchen sink in this phone already. I can tell you what you're gonna get with the Mi 11 Pro is a slightly better camera and faster charging speeds. This phone already has blazing charging speeds. It has 55 watt wired and 50 watt wireless charging with, I think, like 10 with 10 watt reverse wireless charging, if I'm not mistaken. And the box, another question, the box does not come with a charger, just like the iPhone 12 series doesn't. But I got this phone from Giztop, and they unexpectedly sent me the separate charger that Xiaomi offers for free. Not only does Xiaomi offer for free, but Giztop gave it to me for free, and I didn't even request it, or there wasn't a place to request. I would have, but yeah. This is the GaN charger, but it is 55 watt. And I emphasize GaN because this phone is compatible with power delivery, Quick Charge 4.0, 4.0 plus, if I'm not mistaken. So you can also get a USB-C to USB-C, charger. To get, they say it's more consistent charging. I don't really know how true that is. I find that those don't work with a lot of other phones because a lot of times I use the same charger with many different phones. So I'm actually a little bit more particular to the GaN chargers where it's a USB-A to USB-C. But nonetheless, it's freaking fantastic. They included it. It does have that cool little red you see in there, kind of like what actually OnePlus, the whole cable's red. I can't remember if the inside is red. I don't think it is. It's a different color, if I'm not mistaken. Well, heck, the color don't mean anything because OnePlus is one of their other sibling brands, Oppo, uses green inside, I think. But this is a true 55 watt charger. It says it on the. It says it in big bold print. Can't miss it for nothing there. There you go. But it's great though. Box contents are very minimalistic. There's no headphones or anything. The phone doesn't have a headphone jack anyways, of course. But you don't get an adapter or anything like that either. You do get your awesome little clear TPU case that I always like because I like to show off the aesthetics of the phone. A lot of people, they still appreciate it, but they're always talking about how you can get a better case. But I like these cases personally. It does have a built-in screen protector. It's a film. You're going to have a hard time getting a glass protector because this thing is curved on all four corners, not just the side. Very different. Very different. I haven't had a phone that's actually been well, yeah, I did. I had that Huawei phone. I just didn't do an overview on it because I didn't have it for very long last year. I forgot about that. But the Mate 30. But it's the curvature on the sides isn't that bad. It's not too dramatic. Like Samsung, Xiaomi does seem to be kind of backtracking on it, which I really like to see. The K40 Pro with the Snapdragon 880, which is due out, for announcement pretty soon. I don't know if it's due out for release, but it's due to be announced pretty soon. I read a rumor about it yesterday. Redmi is making a big deal about it being flat. So I guess if you want a phone with these specs or close to the specs and you have to have a flat display, then the K40 Pro will probably be right up your alley as opposed to this. Of course, there's a lot of other features on this phone that I don't see the K40 having either. And I can't do this video really without the constant talking. There's just so many. I mean, Xiaomi threw it all in this phone. The Chinese price is converted to 600 USD. I actually got it for 700, which is to be expected. When getting it, getting it in the country where it's not officially available at, like the United States, obviously. That's what I actually expected to pay more than that. So kudos to Giztop. They really took care of me. They got it out to me as fast as possible because it was originally a pre-order on December 29th. I think I made it. And I did do the DHL and and all that good stuff. But fantastic phone. Somebody will have to correct me in the comments. I didn't ever get the OnePlus 8 Pro last year. I had the OnePlus 8 and the OnePlus 8T and the OnePlus Nord and the Nord N10 5G and the N100, etc. But I did not. Well, actually, I got the N5. I got the US version of the N10 5G coming in soon. Actually, I didn't have that. I had an international one, but I didn't do a video on it. But I did do a video on the international N100, LTE. But y'all know how the Samsungs, the S20 series, not the fan edition, and also the Note 20 Ultra, they had the they had the Quad HD. Super AMOLED panels. The panels were also compatible. They were also able to do 120 hertz refresh rates, but you couldn't do the 120 hertz at the same time as Quad HD. If you insisted on 120, your resolution got kicked down to Full HD. You were only able to do Quad HD, I think, with only 60 hertz, if I'm not mistaken, on the Samsungs. I did have an S20 early on in the year, last year, and later on I got the fan edition, but the fan edition only came Full HD anyways. And I also had the standard Note 20, which was stuck at 60 hertz regardless of its resolution, which was only Full HD at that too. But I'm wondering if the OnePlus 8 Pro actually did 120 hertz refresh with Quad HD at the same time. If it didn't, well, even if it did, I'm here to tell you that this phone does. This phone has WQHD Plus and can do 120 hertz, a refresh rate. It is the best AMOLED screen on the market right now. The best screen, period, I should say, on the market, because AMOLEDs are usually always better than LCDs anyway, so that kind of goes without saying. This is the best screen on the market. DisplayMate not only said that, but I can confirm that. I mean, now I know my confirmation's not worth much. It's, just an opinion, really, at the end of the day. But the screen on this phone will blow your mind. It is absolutely gorgeous. Of course, it has always on, of course. The in-display fingerprint sensor, face unlock, all that stuff works blazing fast. Qualcomm just announced their second generation sonic sensor for in-display fingerprint in-display fingerprint sensors, and I mean, I looked to make sure that this phone didn't already have that, and maybe we just weren't told, and it doesn't appear so. But the fingerprint sensor on this thing is fast. Face unlock, again, super fast, can't beat it. Of course, it's not the secure one with the the iris sensors and or like Face ID is on the iPhones or anything like that. It's your software 2D driven one. So, if you want more security, you're definitely going to want to use the fingerprint sensor, of course. But, I mean, the Pro is going to have faster. It's going to have the charging more than likely that was featured in the Mi 10 Ultra. It's going to have, a better sensor, but the sensor on this is already, phenomenal. It's a 108 megapixel rear main shooter. I don't think it has a telephoto. It just has a macro, and the ultra wide angle, because it's a triple setup with the flash on the back, and then it's a 20 megapixel front facing shooter, and it is definitely the smallest punch hole I've ever seen. A couple of other reviews have already said that, and I can confirm that it is. It is super small, super small. They did a fantastic job in the design of this phone. I love it. I'm just going to go over here right quick while I have it in my hand here already. I'm not quite done talking about the camera. And of course, as you can see if I can zoom in on. I really can't because of the color here, but it is. Check that out. That's right. Harman Kardon dual stereo speakers. And that's to me, that's awesome. My car actually has a Harman Kardon speakers. I have a Kia Stinger GT. That's one of my cars, and that actually has the Harman Kardon sound system in it. Super impressive. Absolutely love it in that car. This phone sounds amazing. Best speakers you will hear. Best screen. I mean, it's and if you're wondering where they, and you know that I'm not a big camera tech freak. So, I mean, I did this 108 megapixel camera is already on this phone. I mean, I just don't see how, I'm using a 108 megapixel sensor to record this now. I'm using a Mi 10T Pro. You remember I had the Mi 10T on my channel and the Mi 10T Lite. And of course, the Mi 10T Lite is just the global version of the Redmi Note 9 Pro 5G, but it has a 64 megapixel main lens instead of the 108 megapixel lens. But that was also the one that worked on 5G with AT&T as well. But you know, I did end up, when I got rid of all those phones, when I sold them, I missed the Mi 10T so much that I wanted to get another one back a few weeks ago before the end of the year. And then I ended up finding an even better deal. The prices were higher than what I had ever paid for mine. I mean, the prices for the phone freaking skyrocketed. I knew it was popular. I just didn't think it got that popular. But ironically enough, waiting a couple days, and I did get quite impatient because I really wanted another Mi 10T. I ended up finding a better deal on a Mi 10T Pro for cheaper. Then you know, it was a little bit more than what I originally paid for the Mi 10T, but you know, again, like I just said, all those prices skyrocketed, and the Mi 10T Pro was higher anyways because it's a Pro, obviously. And I'm using a 108 megapixel, you know, camera to record this. Now, from my understanding, the sensor that I'm using on the Mi 10T Pro is actually supposed to be, it's a generational leap over the 108 megapixel camera found on this phone right here, the Mi 11. This is the one that not only the Mi 10 Pro used last year, not the Mi 10, but the Mi 10 Pro, but also the Mi Note 10 as well. And if y'all remember, I actually had the Mi 10, the Mi Note 10 on my channel back in 2019, around the summertime, around the end of the summer, if I'm not mistaken. So that's, you know, a year and a half ago. And this is supposed to be I'm trying to think of everything I read. I think I read that the Galaxy S20 Ultra, the 108 megapixel camera on that phone, was a variation of this one. The binding was done differently on the two. But then the Note 20 Ultra came out, which was that sensor was a successor to the sensor on the S20 Ultra. But the Mi 10 Ultra was supposed to actually have you know, a sensor better, you know, that was a successor to the one found on the Note 20 Ultra, or that might have been the sensor on the Redmi, you know, Note 9 Pro 5G. Guys, I'm so confused, and I know I'm confusing y'all, just as I've done before when talking about the different cores for the Cortex processors and stuff like that. And I'm going to get to that really quick. Snapdragon 888, 2.84 gigs is the clock speed of the main processor. It's a tri-cluster. It's an all-new Cortex X1. That is the main central, you know CPU out of the 8 cores, and then the next 3 are again all new Cortex A78 cores, and then the other 4 are the usual Cortex A55. You know, obviously for power efficiency. It is the the Cairo. It's Qualcomm's custom Cairo 680 CPU, and it has the Adreno 660 graphics chip. obviously with Qualcomm's Elite Gaming technology. Um, it has the fastest RAM. It's DDR5. It has the fastest internal storage, UFS 3.1. No expandable memory, unfortunately. Y'all know how much I love my expandable memory. But this thing has, Wi-Fi 6. It has Bluetooth 5.2. I mean, man, it does have band 41 for T-Mobile 5 for mid-band 5G. I know I discussed that about another phone previously earlier in this video, and I do want to make it a point to say that this does have that. Band 41 is always listed on these phones, but I don't know about their mid-band 71. T-Mobile, I think, is also even using band 66 now too for low band, but or actually, I think they kind of always were. They just never really announced it actually until after the Sprint merger, and they were using band 41. Then they announced they were using 66, but they actually kind of always were, because that's what I've always gotten in my area with them. But this does get, band N5 for AT&T, low band 5G. I know I've repeated that many times. And I mean, I haven't even scratched the surface of this phone. The Snapdragon 888 is just, this thing is just supposed to be a monster. If I haven't already said it, and I don't think I have, and this is a very important feature to leave out again about the processor. This is built on on the all new 5 nanometer process. The Apple A14 Bionic is built on that. Huawei's High Silicon 9000 or 1000. I can't even keep up with the Karens anymore because we don't hear about them a lot anymore. That's built on a 5 nanometer. This phone is just absolutely amazing. It sets the tone for the rest of the year for as far as your flagships go. I don't see this phone has the specs, I would imagine, that will only be found on the Galaxy S21 Ultra as far as the S21 series is concerned. If they release 3 of them again, a Standard, a Plus, and an Ultra, I see the specs matching the Ultra. I could be wrong. Samsung actually did announce the other day that their flagships are actually going to come with cheaper price tags than they did last year. So they may bring specs that you would expect from the Ultra as far as last year goes to the Plus. So, who knows? And the Ultra may just be a bigger model, and the Plus will have the same features. We don't know. But as far as I know, man, this is definitely the specs of a Galaxy S21 Ultra. Obviously, they're gonna up it on the camera, and that's what the Mi 11 Pro is gonna do as well. So it's I expect the Samsung, at least the Ultra, anyways, to beat this in the camera department. Because again, Xiaomi has obviously reserved certain things for the Pro. They didn't announce it at the same time. They're not gonna wait too long because we'll probably get a Mi 11 Ultra towards the end of the year. And then there'll probably also be the Mi 11 T's. Maybe they won't have LCDs and they'll have AMOLEDs. That was obviously the biggest gripe with the Mi 10T series. It was the obvious, but it was a corner they cut to make the phone so powerful for so cheap. That even though it had an LCD, they did improvise it with the 144 hertz refresh rate, which I thought was amazing. You do get 120 here. They call it medium, so maybe through a software update, it may get 144 hertz through a software update, because they call it 120 medium for some reason, then low is 60. There's not an in between. They don't give you an option for 90 hertz like some of their phones actually do. At least I didn't see it anyways. But it's just there's like I said, I'm only scratching the surface here. I do have it set to WQHD Plus with the 120 hertz refresh. Obviously, you're not going to catch the 120 hertz refresh on a screen recording it. It's something that you have to kind of experience, on your own. Because I can even tell the lag. Just, I'm actually, as you're seeing on the screen, I'm actually doing that. I'm actually doing that sooner. I'm actually doing that sooner than what the camera's even picking up. But of course, that may be my image stabilization I have on here as well. But yeah, I'm sorry, y'all keep saying but. But there I go again. I didn't even mean to do it that time. This phone is stunning. I know y'all gonna have a lot of gripes in the comments, maybe a lot of questions, a lot of positive, more positive than negative. Hopefully, I hope y'all really enjoyed this long overview. I should say. I always call them quick overviews, and they're not quick at all. I know. I just This phone is just. I was very excited to get this phone. I was just drooling, just waiting for DHL for DHL to tell me it was ready for pickup. I was actually not due until tomorrow. But DHL always comes in clutch for me. They always come in a day earlier. This does have the super wallpaper. Let's see here. Let's see if I can, absolutely stunning. It's great. I mean, I don't, this, it's beautiful. And man, anyways, man, I was real happy to bring this phone to the channel. I hope y'all have enjoyed this at least a little bit there for me. And y'all holler at me in the comments. Let me know what you think. And I mean, wait, one more thing. Yeah, that mat does feel good. Golly, woo, man, woo. Oh yeah, man, very, very stunning, very stunning. That was the face unlock I just did right there. If y'all didn't catch it, man, ladies, y'all know the procedure with this phone right here. Flossie, I'm sorry. I know your video's fixing to come out with this phone. Me and you discussed on your video to the Axon 20 that we pre-ordered at the same time. I know your video is going to be much higher quality. I cannot wait to see your video with white shoes. I'm anticipating it. I'm gonna do a smell test for you right quick too. Hold on. Oh man, let me do that again. Woo, man, that phone. It definitely has a little bit of savings in it because you're not going to find a Snapdragon 888 phone, at least not until Xiaomi's other brands, other umbrellas release them for cheaper, in a month or two. But this smells like the most powerful phone on the planet right now. That's what it smells like. You want the absolute truth? Value out the door, even though there is value in it. This phone smells like the most powerful phone on the planet right now. I mean, I don't want to hear what you got to say about iPhone 12. I got an iPhone 12. I get it, but yeah, this, man, love it, man. I hope y'all have enjoyed this. Hit me up in the comments. Peace out, y'all.